teenager accused in the case of sabotage has been sent to a pre-trial detention center in the Irkutsk region. According to the investigation, 16-year-old Andrei Belousov and his friend, 15-year-old Matvey, set fire to a rally cabinet at the Cheremkhovo-Zabituy railroad crossing on June 29th.
Belousov was sent to a pre-trial detention center, and on August 25th, he was added to the list of terrorists and extremists of Rosfin monitoring. According to the Solidarity Zone, a criminal case was opened against the teenager under the article on sabotage. He faced up to 10 years in prison. From Telegram channel Solidarity Zone.
It is worth noting that since autumn 2022, law enforcers have been regularly opening criminal cases under the sabotage article. 1/3 of those detained are minors. Diversions, fakes about the Russian army, coup d'etat, terrorism. This is not even a complete list of the articles of the criminal code of the Russian Federation that are applied to citizens who stand against the regime.
The list consists of about 50-60 criminal articles. They can be absolutely different. It all depends on the act that a person has committed and the degree of impudence of law enforcement officers, investigators who impute absolutely different cases. It can be articles on fraud, which are not even directly related to the anti-war protests.
Today, you can get to jail even if you have done nothing illegal, experts say.
The situation now is such that everyone's at risk. You can be prosecuted for absolutely anything in Russia, especially if you have anti-war views, even if you just have those views and don't even tell anyone about them. Just discuss them with relatives in the kitchen. But there is no guarantee that none of the relatives will record it on a dictaphone or write a denunciation on you, or that the neighbors won't hear your conversation.
The list of political prisoners in Russia is constantly growing. Thus, the Human Rights Center Memorial recognized Igor Paskar, sentenced to 8.5 years in prison, as a political prisoner. On May 31st of this year, he was found guilty under articles on vandalism for political reasons and committing a terrorist act. Igor Paskar was the first person to be tried as a terrorist for anti-war arson.
On June 12, 2022, Igor Paskar attempted to set fire to the street banner with the letter Z on the inscription, "We don't leave our people," installed on one of the streets of Krasnodar. The fire did not cause damage to the structure. On June 14th, Paskar threw to a Molotov cocktail at the FSB building in Volgograd. As a result of the arson, a mat caught fire, which was quickly extinguished by officers. Paskar did not try to escape, but instead drew a Ukrainian flag on his cheek and waited for detention. From publication in Doxa.
Earlier, members of the Executive Council of the Congress of People's Deputies, Ilya Ponomaryov and Maximilian Andronnikov, gave a list of Russian political prisoners to representatives of the Ukrainian project I Want to Live. It contains the names of 300 citizens of the Federation arrested for anti-war and anti-government statements and actions, 166 of whom committed acts of forceful and armed resistance to Putin's regime.
There is a regression in the sense that there are more and more people being detained for various fakes discrediting of the Russian army. There are lots of such cases, and we couldn't even look through all of them. We tried to look for people who did something else besides making statements, so that this was not just a post on social networks. There are several hundreds of such people. Our priority was people who were engaged in guerrilla action, who caused real damage to the war machine, who provided a real act of resistance.
It is expected that thanks to the Ukrainian project I Want to Live, it will be possible to exchange political prisoners in Russia for pro-Russian collaborators. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Yulia Granovska, UATV News.